I met God last year. In person. And he's really, really, really cool. He handed me the light of God, which is cool. And after a week, I stayed with you for a week. And after a week, he told me to move out the cities. Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump, I met God last year. In August. I live down in Florida. And he handed me the light of God. He told me you believe in God. And he told me every morning, every day, to ask God to guide your hand to lead this great country of ours, to make it great again. God told me, you care about this country? I used to think, growing up, and all the way up until I met God, and God set me straight, that you were just a rich playboy wannabe, you know, president, because you had everything else, and why not have that too? That's what I thought. And I used to think you went around the world screwing all those ladies back in the 80s and stuff, in the 70s, 80s, and all of that. God set me straight on that too. You wasn't trying to screw anybody. You were making love. That's what you were searching for. And God said, you have a lot of love. God said, you're full of love. And where you're at now. Everybody has their own destiny, Mr. President, God said, and your destiny is to lead this great country in time of war. You do 2 terms as our president. The war starts anytime when North Korea sneak attacks us. He thinks we're coming in to kill him like we did Saddam Hussein. And he's just waiting for it to really look like it. When we're right there, we're going to make one mistake, and he's going to fire all his nuclear missiles at once, and he's going to fire all his chemical missiles, Mr. President. And God told me that, you know, he was sorry we had to meet underneath these circumstances, but to move out of the city. And I did what God said. Because Kim has all of his nuclear missiles aimed at our cities. He said some of them get through. He said, Mr. President, that Kim walks nuclear missiles like dominoes out to our fleet over there, wherever they're at, in Japan, in the Sea of Japan and that. Because he said that there are no secrets, that the leader of North Korea, Kim, buys satellite time from the Russians and from China. And he knows everything. He knows everything. You know, God told me how many satellites there were in the air, like 30,000. And I looked, there's about 30,000 of them. And God told me he buys satellite time from the Russians and from China. God told me most of the nuclear missiles we get attacked with are Russian. His daddy's been buying them for years. And God told me he still buys them every few years. He buys a couple of them from them. Whenever they're ready to sell them, he buys them. God told me that he's dealing drugs for China. All the bath salts, all the chemical marijuanas, all the chemical amphetamines and that, all the chemical drugs. God told me that China went to him 25 years ago when they wanted to open up to the West and got him in the dope game. Trained his chemists, set the labs up, the first ones. And God told me ships loaded down with drugs in the little packages leave North Korea all the time and go to the port of China. God told me, Mr. President, we find all that evidence when we invade the country. God told me the leader of North Korea built 2 palaces over there by the border, by his buddies, the Russians. There's some lakes and some rivers, a big one and a small one. And he stocked them with 300 years of food. And his plan is to sneak attack us because he's seen what we did to Saddam Hussein, how fast we went in and got him. And his plan is to sneak attack us and be there. And he knows we're going to lay waste to his cities. He's counting on it. He knows we're going to fire back nuclear missiles and lay waste to all the cities. And he can hide over there underground. And he's got that much food and stuff. And he can stay over there. And why would we go look for him? He's not going to come out of hiding. We'll think he was dead. Why would we go look for him in all the radiation? That's what God told me, Mr. President. God told me you were a good man. I sent you my books. I sent you my book, Swagadelic, Halfway to Heaven, Halfway to Hell. It's a book about me meeting God. And a little bit about my life. And a little bit about heaven, hell, the war. And then I wrote a book about you, a poor man, Donald Trump's future. I sent you that book. And then I wrote a book about Kim, the great war whore, Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea. Because God told me all about your life, and God told me all about Kim's life. God told me everything about your life. God told me you pray every day to him to guide your hand. God told me you wanted this job really, really bad and prayed for it all the time to make this country great again. Well, it will be great again. Once the war starts, you will lose most of your money and most of your companies. God said everyone has to pay for the hand of evil in both ways. In financial here on this planet, and you have to ask for forgiveness for your hand in the war. So he said don't worry about it though. Love and light always ask for forgiveness. It's that simple. We always ask for forgiveness if we gotta get rid of evil and kill evil. So don't worry about it. I explain it all in my book to you that I sent you. God told me your wife reads to you in bed, Mr. President, every night for about an hour. The letters and things that come from the people. That she will read you my books. That's what God told me. And God told me you're a great father. God told me he's proud of you, Mr. President. He's proud of everything you've done in life. He's proud of you. He's proud of your daddy. When your daddy was here, God told me your daddy's in heaven. God told me that he's proud of your daddy, the way your daddy raised you. And he's proud of you, the way you raise your kids and the way you raise other people's kids. The way you treat all kids like a father. God wishes there were more men like you in the world. Unfortunately, there's not. There's more men like Kim. God told me everything about Kim's life, Mr. President. That he's the most evilest soul here right now, Mr. Trump. And God told me that what it takes to be evil, like Kim is. God told me the reason why the leader of North Korea is always laughing is because he thinks it's funny when he rapes and kills a little baby. God told me he likes to rape and kill only boys about 3 years old. As soon as they can walk, is how he likes to rape and kill them. God told me everything about Kim too. and his life growing up. That's why I sent you the book. That way you know what you already know. He is evil. You just didn't know how evil. Well, God told me he does all 10 sins and he thinks they're funny. Most people only do 1 or 2 sins, or 3, and they don't think they're funny. He does them all and he thinks they're funny. He thinks it's all funny that he's going to sneak attack us. He thinks it's funny that we're going to fire missiles back and lay waste to all his people. You have no choice, though. Once the leader of North Korea gives the order to start firing missiles, they do not stop. They are evil, Mr. President. God told me that if you look at a satellite image of the world where there could be light, Mr. President, and there isn't, there's evil. And once we get sneak attacked by North Korea, and we basically get our balls cut off, and we lay waste to it, the Arab world rises up and declares war against us and attacks us. Those same ones we're buying oil from, who we think we're buddies with, we're not. They're evil too. God said you need only have to take the same image at night and look over there in the Arab world, where they have hundreds of millions of dollars and their people can have light, and they don't. And they keep them impoverished. And it's evil. God said that's all you have to do is look at an image of the world where it's dark and there could be light. Where they have money to put lights in like we do, and to treat their people brave and with love like we do. People don't realize how good they have it in this country, Mr. President. They will once the war breaks out. God said he couldn't tell me when the war was coming because Kim is going to do it out the blue. One day soon, when the build-up over there is right at his door, is when he's going to do it. God said he's just going to give the order. He's going to go to his compounds over there towards the border of Russia, towards the back door, and he's going to give the order. God said he's already got his people there. God said it looks like a little, you would never guess that there's an underground compound there. God said he did it slow. God said he's been doing it over the past year. God said, Mr. President, that the leader of North Korea made his decision to sneak attack us last year in September, as when he was building those underground palaces over there towards the border of Russia. That's as much as he's going to Armageddon as he didn't meet God last year. I talk to God all the time, Mr. President. I pray for you all the time. I pray for our country, President. I cry all the time about it because I know what it is to be. I know Armageddon's here. Pray to God. And he told them too, but I haven't met anybody that's met God. And God has handed them the light of God. And he's told, and I said, well, you know, it's okay. And I tried to get my family to move too. They all think I went nuts. You know, I met God. And God told me to get rid of my home by the beach. And move to Timbuktu, up in the woods. You know, that the war was here. So, you know, I try to tell people who will listen, you know. I'm hoping you get this message. I doubt it, you know. All my other messages don't get through, so I doubt it this one will get through too. Like I said, I know you're a great man. God said it and told me all about you. God told me how great a man you are. God told me how great a father you are. I mean, God told me everything about you and your life, and that everyone, like I said, has their destiny, and you're needed in this position, because your reaction must be fast and decisive as you are, and you will quickly eliminate the threat when you see the missiles are not stopping. God told me Kim has over 100 nuclear missiles, Mr. President, and God told me the chemicals we get attacked with are the stuff called Korean dust times a million. It's a drug that's out on the market now. You can get it in the UK and Brazil. It's not online, but his chemists and scientists figured out a way to make it times a million, where you don't die from it, but it sticks all your glands on, and you go insane from it. And it comes in a snowflake form in the mist. They figured out a way to make stick. God's like 2 men over there that make the snowflakes when we invade the country, and they layer it in the missiles. God said each chemical missile has a ton of the snowflakes in it, and he fires them over here at us and everywhere over there. God said he knows his missiles are going to get knocked down, so he's firing 1-stage missiles, the 2-stage missile off his rocket launchers, but nothing in them. He's got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. He's going to fire thousands and thousands of missiles that don't have anything in them up in the air with the real missiles all at the same time, and reload, and they're going to keep doing it again. He's got those positioned all over the country. That's what God told me. God told me everything. I met God in August of last year. They handed me the light of God, Mr. President, once again, and it stays with you for a week, about a week, and then for a month, I was bedridden. It was too much information. God kept putting me to sleep because my brain couldn't handle it. It was just too much. So he kept putting me to sleep. Every time I woke up, he'd give me a little more information. So the next month, I got rid of all my stuff. And in December, I moved, finally from where he told me I'd be dead at, Santa Rosa Beach, Florida, Destin, Florida area, and I moved out the city, like he told me. Just move out the cities. Doesn't matter where people move. If they move out the cities, they'll be safe. And I know you can't get everybody to move out the cities, you know, but just like my prayer that night, if just one person could meet him that night, if I could just get one person to take me seriously and move out the city before the war starts. God said he does not know which cities get hit. We do a good job knocking most of the missiles down. Start getting through, and we have to lay waste to North Korea. God said basically he's got 3 missiles aimed at every big city in America. So I don't know. I'm living in a small town, outside a small town. So that's what's getting ready to happen. I don't know when. My guess is soon. You know, because God told me He's the most evilest soul here right now. And God told me, you have love and light in you, Mr. President. It's 100 American people. That's how much love you made, and that's how much love you got in you. This is your destiny to lead our country to greatness. Once the war starts, it'll be so polluted over there in the Sea of Japan for the next 1,000 years. You won't be able to sail a ship to China or anywhere over there, so you can have a Walmart or Amazon. Everything will have to be made in America again. You won't be able to buy cheap Chinese goods anymore. So you will make this country great again. Unfortunately, they're evil like Kim. And God said, I asked God, Mr. President, why can't he just put a lightning bolt up Kim's ass and kill him? And God, I asked him that for months. I finally quit asking him. God told me because there are really cool, awesome angels in heaven right now that were more evil than Kim and have turned from the darkness to the light. And are angels in heaven right now. And God told me that the leader of North Korea, Kim Jong-un, makes Hitler look like a baby. What he's about to do. God told me the chemicals we get attacked with stay inside for a week. That the snowflakes stick on everything they land on. And they slowly evaporate over a week's time. That you can step on it, get it on your boot, not even know it, and get it on your hand. God said you're insane in 15 minutes. God said there's no cure. God said you slowly die from infection. Because the drugs do something to your body where you can't fight infection. That's what God told me. And he told me that the shit dust, the chemicals, flow from one end of America to the other. Mr. President, is what God told me. I sent you an email. I sent you a letter, and I sent you my books, and I'm sending you this message. I sent Kim a message on my other site to the leader of North Korea, telling him I know his plans. I know all about him, that I wrote a book about his life, too, to try and get him not to do what he's getting ready to do. But I'm guessing he didn't read it either, or see it. It's online. It says to the leader of North Korea. God told me everything. I know what you did. You know? So my hope is that you get to read this. That's what my hope is. I'm praying and hope. Out. I love everyone. Remember, Mr. President, you're our leader. You will make this country great again, God said. We do get sneak attacked by North Korea. Second time in 70 years, we get sneak attacked. Swagadelic, beaming out. God bless y'all.